When I came to Bombay, I wanted to be a copywriter. Savdhan and Crime Patrol, super hit मुकाबला, Movers and Shakers, Cincinnati Bablaboo, करिश्मा का करिश्मा, roadkid shows, horror, कॉमेडी, ऑल सॉर्ट्स हैव बीन रिटन. 2 या 3 एपिसोड्स लिखे, अब उसके बीच बंद हो गए. भाई सीरियल किलर है. 2-3 और अगर मार दिए होते तो शायद रह जाता.
What keeps you going?
अपना जो रेम्यूनरेशन है उससे पहले पूछता तुम्हारा प्रमोशन का बजट क्या है.
So it took you 20 years to realize that you finally made it as a writer.
एक्टर और राइटर आई थिंक बनने के लिए सिर्फ एक खुशफहमी बहुत है.
Someone who has been writing for so long had to go and self-publish the book.
Self publishing is something that was coming up at that time also. Monastery, monk, Tibet.
The child reading the book might not get the message.
I am catering to the 80-year-old kid in you.
I think it is a book a parent should read to the child.
For ages 8 to infinity.
You were born in Banaras, brought up in Calcutta, you're living in Maharashtra, and you're working in Hindi. How difficult is it to write for a generation that is going to swipe away in 15 seconds?
They don't want to try anything original. Genre that I really failed, मेरे से नहीं हुआ, was Daily Soap.
तो किस्सों की किताब पे मेरा एक सौभाग्य रहा है कि पिछले 1 साल में जितने भी मैं गेस्ट आए हैं यहाँ पे, सब में से सब एक से एक दिग्गज लेखक थे. किसी ने डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज लिखी थी, किसी ने शॉर्ट फिल्म्स लिखी थी, किसी ने किताबें लिखी थी, ऑडियो ड्रामास लिखे थे, प्रोमोज लिखे थे. आज के हमारे जो गेस्ट हैं वो ये सब लिख चुके हैं. और एक चीज़ जो वो नहीं लिख पाए थे वो थी एक किताब, जो कि अब वो भी पूरा कर चुके हैं. इनकी नई किताब द माइटी टाइनी टेल्स ऑफ ग्यात्सो एंड ताशी हाल फिलहाल में मार्केट में आई है. तो किताब मैंने पढ़ी, बहुत बेहतरीन किताब है. तो आइए बातचीत करते हैं, बड़ी मजेदार बातचीत होने वाली है. वेलकम टू द शो श्रीकांत.
Thank you Shayan for having me over.
So Shrikant, before we discuss your book, one thing I'd like to know from you, you've been writing for like 2 decades, if not more.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're writing for so long, when you've been writing for so long, writing all sorts of content for all sorts of media and all sorts of mediums, so be it any craft, the magic tends to start fading away. The passion turns into a process. However, in your case, that does not seem to be the case. This book is living proof of it. So what keeps you going?
Yeah, it's been around 2 decades now.
Yeah.
20 almost 25 साल तो हो गए. Now, nothing was planned to begin with. When I came to Bombay, I wanted to be a copywriter.
Right.
And choices were very simple. या तो ad agency join करो जहाँ तुम्हें 500 या 1000 रुपए मिलने वाले हैं stipend.
Right.
The other option was to join Star, जहाँ 7,500 मिल रहे थे. And जो माली हालत थी,
You joined
Star. So 2 years I spent in Star as a in-house copywriter, and then I got bored, got out of it. I started doing shows. Initially मिलने में उतनी दिक्कत नहीं हुई shows. Those 2 years you make contacts and stuff also. But something very interesting happened in the beginning of my career as a writer for shows.
Yeah.
And I had some really huge shows coming in, which were big shows even before I had joined the industry.
Okay.
Super hit Muqabla, if you remember.
Yes, of course. Who doesn't remember Super Hit Muqabla? Yeah.
Movers and Shakers. Now these are shows. A couple of other shows were there.
You were writing for Movers and Shakers?
Yeah, I'm just coming to that.
Yeah.
Okay. And these are all shows. मैंने 2 या 3 एपिसोड्स लिखे, अब उसके बीच बंद हो गए.
Okay.
So करिश्मा का करिश्मा was another show which happened later, which that kind of broke the mold in the sense that ठीक है, ये छुएगा तो बंद नहीं होगा. बट उससे पहले जो थे ये सारे शोज जैसे आने लगे थे, देयर वाज दिस साइलेंट मूड गोइंग ऑन कि भाई सीरियल किलर है, वो आएगा, सीरियल छुएगा, बंद हो जाएगा. बड़े से बड़ा दिग्गज शो भी बंद हो जाएगा. एंड देन आई रियलाइज दैट नहीं, आई हैव बीन बीइंग हैंडेड डेड हॉर्सेस. माय फर्स्ट शो वाज अ शो कॉल्ड सिंसिनाटी बबलाबू, डायरेक्टेड बाय मिस्टर अनंत महादेवन. वो भी मेरे 2 या 3 एपिसोड्स लिखने के अंदर बंद हो गए. दैट वाज द फर्स्ट विक्टिम.
Right.
The second was Movers and Shakers. Then Super Hit Muqabla. वो तो कलकत्ता में जब था, मैं स्कूल में था, तब से चल रहा था. वो भी बंद हो गया.
Okay.
बाद में जाके towards when I was writing Sonpari and करिश्मा का करिश्मा is when नहीं चल रहा है. ये बंद होने वाले थे shows when I started there, and it continued.
Right.
So over a period of time, what actually happened was, and these are all happening again, as I said, there's nothing was planned.
Hmm.
जैसे जैसे आता गया वैसे वैसे लेता गया. I was under this impression that as a writer you need to write anything and everything, otherwise you're not a writer.
Right.
So 30 seconds promos, 3-minute corporate films, 3-hour movies. Movies also 3-4 मैंने लिख दिए थे जो कभी never saw the light of day. But shows basically, fiction. I wrote kids shows, horror, comedy, all sorts have been written. And these are things जब मैं लिख रहा हूँ तब strike भी नहीं कर रहा है. Even I did a show called Antariksh, which was a sci-fi show.
Right.
It was Ramayana set up 10,000 years hence.
Okay.
So all these shows were happening out there. जैसे जैसे काम आ रहा है कर रहा हूँ, it never struck me. It was only when years later when I sat down to, पहली बार कहीं से मुझे एक ये आया था कि आपने जो लिखा है उसका एक ये चाहिए, एक
Right.
CV चाहिए whatever. So when I started writing down, I realized कि यार इतना सब कुछ किया हुआ है. And एक भी ऐसा नहीं लगा कि कुछ तोप किया हुआ है. To be very frank, there was nothing. Everything was as per the demand of
Right.
the channel and the producer. There's nothing that I am creating myself in the first place. तो उसका एक अलग process भी था because of that. Then movies happened. Movies. My second film was an animation film called Bird Idol, which I did for Warner Brothers.
Okay.
तब मुझे लग गई थी निकल पड़ी है अभी. Warner Brothers की फिल्म हो रही है and stuff. And then I realized कि it's not even the banner that matters.
Right.
तो अभी जब उसके बाद 2 other films I did, and after that I realized that whenever somebody comes with a film offer, मैं अपना जो remuneration है उससे पहले पूछता हूँ तुम्हारा promotion का budget क्या है.
Right.
तो if you don't have a promotion budget, I'm not doing it.
Right.
कि मैं तो लिख दूंगा, मैं पैसे भी ले जाऊंगा, and if that वो डब्बे में अगर रहने वाला है, and if nobody is going to come to know about it, I don't want to do it.
Right.
So I avoided that.
So it took you 20 years to realize that you finally made it as a writer.
No, I still haven't made it as a writer.
Right.
It's a process. चल रहा है.
So about that reputation of being a serial killer, it sticks in the industry. So it would have been quite a challenge finding projects after that.
No, if it would have. अगर 2-3 और अगर मार दिए होते तो शायद रह जाता.
Right.
टिक जाता. But it just happened that I think Karishma broke that thing because it was going to end. It was the last season kind of a thing that was given to them,
Right. Hail Mary.
and it kind of worked and it got an extension. So
Okay.
that saved my.
Right. So coming to your book, how did the book happen?
The Gatso wasn't intended to be a book initially.
Okay.
बुक तो क्या, मुझे तो ये भी नहीं पता था कि उसकी इतनी सारी स्टोरीज बनेंगी, एक सीरीज बनेगी. The first book, first chapter, first story that I wrote was during the lockdown, the first lockdown. I had 2 projects at that time, and the lockdown happened and सब ठप पड़ गया, and I panicked.
Okay.
I panicked. My mind was racing, and I just didn't know what to do. मतलब करना क्या है? So I thought of writing something to actually put a pause button to slow myself down.
Right.
And hence monastery, monk, Tibet.
Right.
Stuff. So I wrote the first story, which is incidentally the first story of the book also. And it's just got Gatso. Tashi is not there. I wrote that. I sent it to a few friends and relatives. They gave their feedback. They quite liked it. They liked it. I was happy. That was that.
Right.
Then around 5 or 6 months later, again I felt like writing something. Likha, sent it to them. Good feedback again.
Right.
Yeah. So this kept happening, and over a period of the next 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years, I wrote some 12 or 13 of the stories. By this time, my friends started saying that you should compile them and
Right.
make a book or something.
Yeah.
And that's how the idea of a book came in.
The book is nice. The stories are nice. So someone who has been writing for so long and has a certain reputation in the market had to go and self-publish the book. Why did that? Why did you? Was it? Are you out of options? Did you try to get it published traditionally? Did the publisher did not entertain the script? What happened?
I have friends who have got their books published traditionally.
Yeah.
and I've seen their process. It's a difficult one. I'm intrinsically a very lazy person when it comes to that.
Okay.
I don't want to put that kind of effort and money to. I didn't have that kind of money also to put into that kind of a process. Meanwhile, self-publishing is something that was coming up at that time also, and still it's in a very nascent stage, but it is growing as a option for the game. And I had a friend who was with Storytel. I had written a couple of audiobooks for Storytel, and my editor out there, she had some experience in publishing.
Right.
Shurumita. So I spoke to her, and that's how I got the thing started as a self-publishing thing also in the first place.
Okay. So the book, the character Gatso, it's a 8-year-old monk living in a monastery, and he has a companion, Tashi. It's
Tashi.
a Tibetan Mastiff, right? So now, while Gatso in many ways is a typical 8-year-old, he's adventurous and he's curious, but at the same time he is wise beyond his years. So as an author, that would have been a challenge, keeping the right balance. So how did you go about it?
So when I was developing Gatso, I had one thing very clear in my mind, that it is not just any 8-year-old that I'm catering to. I am catering to the 8-year-old kid in you and me and the whole of humanity.
Right.
So 8 years, why 8 years? That's about the time that your innocence is still
Right.
intact. You are curious, you don't judge easily, and you still have a very open mind when you get to know new things about accepting the way you accept it. So this wasn't about an 8-year-old kid per se. It's about the 8-year-old in all of us, and that was what I was trying to target. As even when an elderly, even when an adult reads the book, it's going to appeal to that 8-year-old in him.
Right.
And it is alive in all of us still.
Right. Coming to that, Tashi, the Tibetan Mastiff, he tends to share pearls of wisdom to Gatso through the book, across different chapters. And if you zoom out, Shrikant, as a reader, that's what I felt. When you zoom out, the life lessons he shares are simple, but again they're profound. So there is this risk. I just need your take on this. There is this risk that the child reading the book might not get the message. So while the book feels like it's a kid's book, then again maybe it's not. So what do you think? Is it a kid's book?
So this is something that I've been fighting with myself for a long time. Like initially, I've been trying to, if you look at the characters, 8-year-old monk, huge dog, then bugs and foxes and pikas. It gives all the makings of a children's book.
Right.
And I have been trying to fight, saying that no, it's not a children's book, it's meant for adults. But that doesn't go across. Still, I stopped fighting it and realized that actually it is a children's book. Just as I said, it targets the child in you.
Right.
So it is a children's book in that sense. And which is why when an adult reads that book, he will get it.
Right.
Ultimately, and Tashi being that character, Tashi is basically where Gatso is supposed to reach. Gatso is us, and Tashi is the destination for us.
Right.
So Tashi is somewhere the light, the guiding light for the Gatsos in all of us to reach that place.
So if it's any consolation, Shrikant, I think it is a book a parent should read to the child. I think probably a PG-13 kind of a sticker would have worked for you. So
the blurb on the book, if you read, it says it for ages 8 to infinity.
Right.
So your vertical 8 is 8 and the horizontal one is infinity.
Yeah. So let's move away from your book for a second. So you are a Tamilian, right?
Yeah,
you were born in Banaras, brought up in Calcutta, you're living in Maharashtra, and you're working in Hindi.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
So again, nothing was planned. It's all by default. That my parents are Tambrams. My father settled in Calcutta. I was born in Banaras. I had the good fortune of going to a school where I had a very good Hindi teacher, St. Lawrence High School. And by the time I was, say, around 19 or so, I had kind of made up my mind that I want to write. So the good thing or the bad thing about this whole audiovisual or the film setup is that any other field that you want to work into in a film, whether you want to be a DOP or a editor or even a music director, you need to learn something. There are machines to be understood and learned.
Right.
I think acting and writing, एक्टर और राइटर आई थिंक बनने के लिए सिर्फ एक खुशफहमी बहुत है.
ठीक.
And I think it's necessary also. That's what gives you the drive to make the plunge.
Okay.
And Hindi is, thankfully, thanks to the, but I'm still not very comfortable speaking in Hindi.
You think in English, right?
I think in English. That is again a product of the environment where I was.
Right.
Calcutta is not a very happening place for Hindi as such. But
Yeah.
even my at home, we speak Bengali and Tamil more than.
Right.
So it wasn't a conscious decision. But again, I was very sure that Bombay आके हिंदी में ही I have to write in Hindi only.
Right.
Speaking is not very comfortable. I feel like an imposter sometimes when I'm trying to speak in Hindi.
Right.
But while writing, I know that I have the privilege of correcting things and stuff.
Right.
So
Writing, जो आपने writing की बात की, I understand you're writing something called for something called vertical TV. What is vertical TV?
yeah, micro drama. I think that's a new flavor of the season right now. So everybody is into it. But I found it. So basically, I'll tell you where this micro drama thing actually has come from. Everybody's behind it right now because it's done very well in China, Korea, and the US.
Okay.
And there are micro drama apps which are doing very well out there.
Okay.
The sad part is they don't want to try anything. Most of the platforms right now, and they don't want to try anything original as
Okay.
such.
Formula writing.
जो चाइनीज है ऑलरेडी, उसका इंडियन वर्जन बना के ये लोग ये कर रहे हैं.
Right.
My reading is a little different because I think this is a very good opportunity for high concept, low budget.
Right.
So if you have watched Sleuth, films like The Sleuth, दो कैरेक्टर थे पूरी फिल्म में, एक लोकेशन, and it keeps you engaged. So those are the kind of stories I feel are really going to work in this kind of a game where the budgets are extremely low. अभी तक तो कम से कम, because right now so the platforms that we're talking about are those which were originally audio platforms. Startups जो थे like Kuku TV and Pocket FM and 8 network.
Right.
These are the ones that were there. The big guns have not yet openly come into the
Right.
picture yet. I think they're waiting for these guys to
Right.
test the markets.
So while we're talking about vertical TV, you are a writer who's been writing for so long and you've been majorly doing long form content.
Yeah.
So how difficult is it to tear away from that mold and write for a generation that is going to swipe away in 15 seconds?
It's easier for me, I think, because I've been writing long form. This is also long form in the true sense of the thing, because these are stories which are 60 minutes long. It's just that they are divided into 2-minute episodes.
Right.
And it suits me because I myself belong to that whole mindset of swiping in 15 seconds.
Right.
So it's not such a big issue going from there. And as a writer, again, after having done all these things, the one genre that I really failed, मेरे से नहीं हुआ, was daily soap.
Okay.
So that put me out of the field for around 2008 onwards.
Right.
I was not in TV for most part. Like later on when Savdhan and Crime Patrol and stuff happened, I was doing stuff, but this I just couldn't fathom.
Right.
This daily soap thing needs a very different kind of writing, very different kind of mindset. लोग हंसते हैं, लेकिन there's a lot of hard work and weird thinking that goes into it.
Right.
जो strike ही नहीं करता है मुझे.
No, I totally get it, and I think maybe I will, like you said, I will try enjoying some vertical TV, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it once I do that. So once again, thank you Shrikant for sharing your time with us, and आप लोग जाइए श्रीकांत जी की किताब पढ़िए, ऑनलाइन उपलब्ध है. It's a brilliant book. Go and read and read it out to your child as well, and do let us know how you find it. और जल्दी हम मिलते हैं आपसे एक और एपिसोड में, एक और किताब और एक और लेखक के साथ। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।